Welcome to Moving Forward, sponsored by MPW Mocklink TV and Mocklink Internet, online at mpw.org. Each weekday morning, our local talk segment brings you the people who are helping move our community forward. Let's start the show.
Good morning, AM 860, FM 95.1, KWPC. I'm Jordan Davis. Thanks for joining us here on this Tuesday morning. What is it, June 12th already? June 12th right now. So real quick, say hello to Mocklink Phone, your new local phone company. Fiber customers get it now. Switching is easy, and you can keep your old number. Learn more at mpw.org. Once again, I'm Jordan Davis. This is Moving Forward. Joining us in the studio this morning from United Way, Shane Orr. How are you this morning, Shane?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're really glad to have you in here to tell us all about the things that United Way is currently doing now. I know that there's a little bit going on here this summer. Let's start off with the summer lunch program. I know that's already up and rolling, so tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so summer lunch program, we've actually been doing this for the last several years, and basically it provides a free meal to anybody under the age of 18. Adults can eat for $2, and it's served at 4 different sites, 4 different school sites at least. There are other sites that serve, but they're closed sites like Salvation Army and that kind of thing. But and then we have volunteers actually serve the meals. So we're always looking for people that are interested in volunteering. Each site has kind of a person that coordinates everything. So the volunteer basically just has to show up and help serve some meals, and that's about it.
And it's only really an hour out of the day. What time does it start? 11:30?
Yeah, the sites serve, I'm trying to see. So most of the sites serve lunch from 11:15 to 12:30 or so. So, about an hour of time. And, it's a good way to give back to families. If families want to come down, their kids can eat, they can serve, kind of get everybody involved that way.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a really easy way to get involved, give back a little bit, like Shane said, and it's not too difficult to.
No, it's not.
So be sure to get involved in that, and don't forget that they're serving lunch. If you decide you want to take a day off from cooking lunch for the kids over the summer,
right? Go
on down to any of the schools. What are the 4 schools?
It's Madison, McKinley, Jefferson, and Franklin.
Absolutely. So be sure to check that out if you feel like taking a quick break. So really glad to see that summer program happening. That's kind of a cool thing that the United Way helps put on. And it's in conjunction with the school district. And where does the funding for that come from? Fundraising throughout the year? Well,
yeah, there's actually a government grant that covers a great portion of the meal cost. And so really the money that we raise helps to pay for site. We had a grant for site coordinators, and then other grants pay for like disposables and that kind of thing that the government grant doesn't cover. So
Gotcha. Okay, well that's a cool thing. We really appreciate United Way providing that for folks that may need to be able to go and have that free lunch over the summer. That's a cool thing.
Yeah, I remember having when you have teenagers at home, especially over the lunch over the summer. They can eat quite a bit, so this is just a way to help people kind of spread their food dollars a little bit better too.
Absolutely. Well, that's really cool. What else is going on with the United Way? Pancake breakfast coming up on the 4th of July?
Yeah, that's right. So many people are very familiar with our quarterly pancake breakfast as a fundraiser for our Kids First Fund. And for the last several years, we've been doing one the morning of the 4th of July. They have the kids parade downtown. And so we're actually located serving breakfast at the First National Bank Walnut Room, which is right there on the parade route. I believe the parade ends at the new library this year, which is basically right across the street from where we're serving breakfast.
Gotcha.
So it's as I said, it's a fundraiser for the Kids First Fund, and so it goes to a good cause. You make whatever donation you want to make, and you can eat pancakes and eggs and sausage. There's juice, there's fruit, and we have a lot of regulars, so you kind of can see people that you may know and come down and have a good breakfast that morning.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Kids First Fund a little bit. I know that it goes back towards kids that they like to. If the United Way sees a need, they want to meet a need. So it goes to like shoes, it goes to school supplies, and
Yep.
anything like that. So tell us a little bit about the Kids First Fund.
Yeah, so the Kids First Fund can pay for things that either helps a student get more involved, so it can pay for activity fees or sports equipment, that kind of thing. But it can also pay for anything that a child may need in the classroom. So if a teacher or somebody in the school district notices that a child has a need, then they can submit a request, and we can usually cover it. A lot of that stuff are small dollar amounts that can make a big difference, whether it's school supplies or it could be clothing sometimes. Sometimes kids have to do presentations as part of class. And so in many cases, kids may not have a shirt and tie or dressier clothes to wear, so it can help cover that kind of thing for families that can't otherwise afford it. We're trying to break down those barriers that students or families may have for kids to be more involved and feel like they're not at a disadvantage when they're going to school. So,
Right.
And it's been around for a long time and helped quite a number of kids. So it's all basically it's all individual donations that keep that going every year. So.
And it's important that those kids get that feeling of being a part of something, like you said, sports equipment too.
Yep.
It's a big deal for a kid to get to participate in a sport where they may not have been able to because they couldn't afford to get the equipment. Basketball takes basketball shoes and the gym shorts and stuff like that. Or if the school does they do their own uniforms. So
Right.
sometimes the students have to pay for that too. So that's a big deal to be able to be a part of that.
Yeah, and there have been studies that have shown that when kids are more involved or in activities, they feel more connected to the school, they're more likely to succeed, that kind of thing. So, there's that aspect of it too. Trying to just get students involved that may have otherwise not been able to participate in things that they wanted to participate in. We didn't want money to ever be a barrier for somebody to participate in something they wanted to do. So,
And I think Nicole and I have talked about it before. What they say, see a need, meet a need. That's a big deal to be able to do that with that Kids First Fund. So it's a really good thing to give to because they get to help students who may not be able to do things otherwise, because simply even if it's a small dollar amount like pencil boxes or pencils or shirt or tie or something like that. So absolutely be sure to make it out to that pancake breakfast.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it's just small amounts and they can make a huge difference for some of these kids to be able to, participate or do other things that they need to do. So
No, that's very encouraging. Well, I also know Day of Caring, there's a naming contest or there's a logo design contest for it coming up.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we have a Day of Caring in the fall for usually for people that adults that work in businesses or work throughout town, and then in the spring we also have Day of Caring with the school districts, so the Muscatine School District, Durant, and L&M. We have Day of Caring, and Day of Caring is really a way for people to volunteer and give back to their communities, doing projects throughout their communities. And so every year we actually have a contest for students to design a logo that will go on the shirts. So the volunteers wear shirts that say Day of Caring on them and have a logo and the sponsor information, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So students have an opportunity, if they're feeling artistically inclined, to try to design a logo, and if their logo is selected, they actually get a $50 gift card, and the logo appears on the shirt. And you see those shirts throughout the year, not just on that day. So it's kind of cool if your logo is selected, you're probably going to see that logo in quite a few places just because people wear the shirts all the time.
Absolutely. So that's a really fun way for the kids to get involved too and helping design that. So that would be. So what are you looking for specifically? What does the design need to be? Is it like words? Is it just the words Day of Caring surrounded by colorful patterns? Or it's kind of whatever they can design, anything they can come up with, as long as it's got Day of Caring on it.
Yeah, right. And so a lot of the designs, it's really up to the person's imagination and what they may think giving back or caring for other people or that kind of thing. So many of the logo designs have something to do with, giving back or you know, but it's really wide open to whatever their interpretation of that is. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, there aren't too many requirements that we have on it. So
okay, and when can people get those submitted? How do they go about doing it? Is there a end date for when it's last due?
Yeah, we're taking those through July 2nd.
Okay.
So anything up until July 2nd, if they design the logo, I mean, they can even send it directly to United Way or stop in with it. They could do that as well. So.
Okay.
And then there's the Day of Caring committee will actually look at all of these submissions and make a decision on what the logo will be this year. So
when is the next Day of Caring? Did you say?
Well, it's in September, and I don't have the date off the top of my head, unfortunately.
But it's in September.
Yeah, the next one will be September. The student Day of Carings are usually in the spring, so
okay.
They're in April-ish, that kind of time frame. But I know we have a date set for the September one. I just don't know it off the top of my head.
That's all right.
But yeah, it's and that'll be the one. That's the fall one, and you know, we have. I mean, we've had thousands of volunteers. If you combine all the Day of Carings, I mean, there's like several thousand volunteers. I think the Muscatine School District alone had over 1,000 volunteers.
Wow.
So if you combine them all, that's quite a few people giving back to the community, which is great. I mean, we really we so much thank all of the businesses that participate, because they allow their employees to have some time off to be able to do these projects out in the community. I mean, we couldn't do it without the support that we have from the businesses here in Muscatine. So
absolutely, and it takes, you know, you think about it, like, it doesn't seem like it could be. A lot can get done when 1,000 people put their heads together to start on some projects. A lot of stuff can get done. So it's a big deal for people to be able to get involved. And like you said, the businesses giving them some time to be able to go and do that. That's a really big deal.
Yeah, there are some communities that don't have that luxury, or they have to do volunteering maybe on the weekends or in the evenings. So we're just really thankful that we have a lot of support and have people allowed to do that during the regular work hours. So
well, Muscatine's just that kind of community, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Definitely.
They're very give back. They're very invested in the community as much as they are in whatever they're doing, whether it's work or whatever. Everybody wants to do what's best for Muscatine. Right,
which I mean, that makes what I do a lot easier. Makes United Way's job a lot easier, because we are in a community that really. When something needs to be done, people dig deep if they have to and get it done. So
that's really cool. Well, Shane, thanks so much for sharing with us. Is there anything else that you'd really like people to know? What's the most important thing people should know right now about United Way? Well,
I think right now it's definitely a summer lunch going on. So, you know, if you're thinking about giving back to the community, you just want to volunteer, it's actually a good time. You get to see kids come through and eat. And, you know, if you do it on a regular basis, you can see some of the same kids coming through the line and chat with them a little bit. And it's just a good way to kind of give back, and something that you see the results right away. I mean,
absolutely. I can see that. So how do people get involved? Is it just as easy as calling down to the United Way and saying, hey, I'd like to volunteer for the summer lunch program? What can I do?
Yeah. I mean, we do have a volunteer website, volunteermuscatine.org, but, you know, honestly, it's as simple as they could just give us a call, and we can find them a spot, or if they have a particular school they want to volunteer at, they can let us know that, and we can find an opening and whatever works for their schedule.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much, Shane. It's been a real pleasure talking to you this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yep. Once again, that was Shane Orr joining us for Moving Forward on AM 860 and FM 95.1 KWPC. Once again, MockLink is always Muscatine's fastest internet, and gigabit speed is coming. MockLink TV beats satellite and includes video and music streaming. New subscribers save big, even more when you bundle. Learn more at mpw.org. Once again, I'm Jordan Davis. This has been Moving Forward on AM 860 and FM 95.1 KWPC and the voiceofmuscatine.com.
You've been listening to Moving Forward on the Voice of Muscatine, KWPC, AM 860, FM 95.1. Thanks to our sponsor, MPW Digital TV and MockLink Internet, the local providers at mpw.org. And remember, Moving Forward, each weekday at 8:15 to learn how Muscatine is on the move.